there, matey! What's up? I'm Brian here, doing another video for you guys, and this time we're taking a look at Transformers R.I.D., well, Prime R.I.D., Thundertron. And this guy is a pirate-themed Transformer, and what's my initial thoughts on this guy? I think he's got a lot of personality, which I really do like. There's a couple of things I want to see different, though, and a couple of things I feel they could have changed. But I think the overall toy has a lot of personality to it that I really like. So anyways, let's take a look at the alt mode. It's kind of like this wolf-lion, lion-wolf type alt mode. And it's pretty cool. It's got some white, it's got some blue. Now there's a couple of things I wish were different, but considering the transformation and how much is actually going into this toy, I'm actually very surprised by how well it does look. Now, the back legs don't have much going for the transformation. They just rotate around, and that's pretty much it. So, not much going on for the legs themselves. The hips expand out, so there's a little bit of transformation onto that. It's mostly the front. The unfortunate side of that is you don't get a lot of articulation. There's no joints moving for up here. I mean, you could pop stuff out and get it to move, but if you have it fully transformed, you're not going to get that much motion going out of that. But you do get this, so that's fun. And then you get a little ball joint right in here that's mostly for the rotation. But the claws also move up and down, so that's good. You get a little bit of articulation for the back legs. So there's that. Pretty much the only real pose you're going to get out of this guy is this. Which isn't a bad pose, it's just I wish there were more things you can do with this guy. I mean, the mouth doesn't even move, so you can't really do much with the head itself. I mean, I like the molding on the head. It's got a couple of paint applications, but I just wish there was more you could do. As far as the toy is concerned, there's not much going on to it, but I do like the idea of having a wolf Transformer on display with my Transformers Prime collection. Now, he's part of a separate faction compared to the Autobots and Decepticons and even the Predacons. He's part of this pirate faction with, I read up about it. I don't know much about it. But apparently Sandstorm is one of the characters on this faction, which I think is interesting. Yeah, this is the only character that actually had a toy for that faction. So I guess you could put him wherever. You want to make him an Autobot? Go ahead. You want to make him Decepticon? Go ahead. I just had a stroke when I said Decepticon. I'm pretty sure some guy's going to tell me, like, well, actually, he was a bad guy, or actually, he was a good guy, but considering that he is a toy, it doesn't really matter once you put him on your shelf. So anyways, with that said, I like the coloring with the white and the blue, and just overall, I think he looks kind of cool. You get the weapon on the top here, which you can plug right there, not right there. I know that's tempting to plug something right in there that's not meant to plug in weapons. I'm not even sure why they did that. It feels like a kind of a dick design point, because kids are going to be like, oh, there's the plug hole thing. Oh, it doesn't fit. But no, it's actually right there. You can plug stuff onto the side like so, but they don't really seem to hold. And the point of this weapon is you flick this down and you get a little sword with an LED inside. Unfortunately, it does not lock into place, but it kind of clicks into place. Not really clicks into place, but it just clicks for whatever reason. But you get the claw, so if you want that, go ahead. If you want the sword, go ahead. But there is something that I found out that you can do with the weapon, and that's not glue this in place. I know people who have taken out the spring of this weapon so that it just stays in place, or they completely glued this in place, or just different things. There's different things you can do, but there's something that I did for the weapon that's very easy, and you guys probably know what I'm talking about, but I'm going to show that off later on. Anyways, as far as the wolf lion thing, you also have the tail in the back, which I feel like should stretch out. It's kind of weird right here because I feel like the legs are supposed to be part of the body in this mode. So having the tail start from there just looks a little weird. Unless that's meant to be a giant spine piece right there that goes with these armor pieces, and then the tail actually comes out from there, but it's a very small tail then. But anyways, with that said, that is the alt mode. It's kind of cool, but I wish there were some things that they could have touched up on, mostly with the articulation. I do like this section with the light blue. And again, the molding is pretty good, but again, I just wish there were a few changes. I also don't like how thin the body is. I don't know, I feel like it should have a little bit more armor than this, but that's probably just me. But yeah, claws are cool. So anyways, transformation is very tricky. What you want to do to start is pop out the arms and then bring these sections around like so to get them out of the way, like that, and take down the legs, bring them down like that. These skirt pieces are supposed to tab into place, but they don't really, so just bring them down and then rotate the legs like so. Bring down the feet and rotate them like that, and bring out these little bits like so. I guess there's meant to be extra toes, like a big toe and a pinky toe or something like that. And now you can stand up the figure. Let's bring this guy up to show more of that transformation. Now what you're supposed to do is bring this out and then collapse the hips. But what you can also do is just push in the hips, and that will help bring that out, and you just move that into place. Or what you can also do to transform it back is push this entire section in, and that will help bring out the hips automatically. But I just like to push in the hips and then bring this out, and then move the tail in place if you want. Next, what you want to do for the arms is you want to take these and bring them out like so. Bring them out like so. And then next what you want to do is rotate these down. Now when you transform this guy into the alt mode, you want to remember exactly that the solid blue piece will go backwards like so, and the transparent piece will stick out like that. There's been a lot of times where I feel like I'm going to break it because I'm transforming it the wrong way. You don't want to transform it the wrong way because this joint doesn't fold up all the way from the other way. Basically what I'm saying is you get that much articulation going that way, and then that, hold on, that much articulation going backwards. But that's meant for the transformation. Do I make sense now? Anyways, bring out the arms like so, and then bring out the shoulder piece, which sometimes gets stuck on this little piece of plastic, so it's probably easier to bring out the shoulder first and then bring down the arms. And then take the hands and flip them out of place like that. Next, what you want to do for the wolf head thing, or lion head, whatever you want to call it, is bring that out and swing this down, which will let the head flip into place. And you actually want to bring these out first and then bring out these little blue pieces of plastic and then bring everything down. It's kind of tricky, but you are able to get everything into place. Let's see. Got to make sure the hips are into place. If you mess around with this too much, you'll find that this slowly goes back into place, which unlocks the hips. So just be careful for that. But anyways, bring that out. And then what you want to do for the shoulders is you want to rotate these pieces around. Or no, do you? Hold on. Let's see. Actually, I'm just going to transform this side first. Okay. Let's see. That way. And then, okay. I figured it out. What you want to do is you want to bring down the claw like that. Then rotate that around. And then bring this down like so. And flatten that down. And make sure the head's up. And there's this little piece that sometimes will automatically flip up. But just flip this down. And make sure the head's up all the way. And there you have Thundertron in his robot mode. And I think he's got, again, a lot of personality in this mode. I see a lot of pirate themes going on to this toy. Now, let's get something straight. He does have transparent plastic on the arms. But one, I think that brings out a lot of detail. And two, really works for his color scheme because he's already got this icy look to him with the blue, the light blue, and the white, that the transparent blue plastic actually fits in and works. It really does work to the point where maybe he should use a bit more of that. I'm not sure. But I just like the transparent arms as they are. I think they're pretty cool. He doesn't really have hand articulation except for this, so don't expect much to come out of that. As far as articulation is concerned, his head can rotate side to side a little bit, and you could probably get a little bit of up and down, not so much up, but you can get down motion from the head, which is unfortunate. I feel like the head is supposed to pop out a little bit more, but it doesn't want to. The shoulders are on the ball joint, and you can bring this out of place, but the unfortunate side is when you mess around with that, you have to fit everything back into place. So there's that. And also another problem is, at least on mine, there's a lot of loose joints. Like these little bits right here are very loose, and then these little bits right up here, the transparent plastic, is very loose, so just watch out for that. You can try and bring that out as far as you can, like that. But unfortunately, these side pieces kind of stand out now, which, I mean, might work, but I like to just leave these up, have these little bits in like so, and then just pull these out like that. I don't know. Does that make sense? Is anything that I'm making, or saying it... God, I can't talk today. Is anything that I'm saying making any sense? Basically, I'm putting these part way out so they don't get in the way of these white bits. Alright, there we go. Anyways, let's move on. You do get some elbow joints, but not much. Ball joint right here. You also get a rotation joint. You get knee, and then you get this foot's on a ball joint, and then this foot's on a hinge and a rotation. There's a reason for that, which, speaking of which, we'll go through the weapons. You can take off this foot and give him a peg leg, which I think is awesome. And he's still able to stand, which is pretty good. And you can bring these bits out, fold that down, and now he's got a claw weapon, which I think is amazing. I love that. Another thing you can do is take this weapon, plug that onto the side there. You can also plug that into the hole in the back, and you can bring out the sword. Unfortunately, the shoulders like to get in the way of this giant block on the back. You can also plug weapons onto this. And what you can also do is where the peg leg attaches to, you can plug stuff onto that. But what I found is easy for the sword is you just rotate that from the peg like that. And yes, you got a giant block on the side, but at least the sword is in place. And that's just what I usually do. It's got a lot of detail in the sword, which I really do like. So yeah, lots of articulation, cool weapons, a nice peg leg theme, nice pirate theme altogether, and I like the alt mode idea. I like the ideas of this, I'll say that. It's just the initial, end point, like, the whole toy, as itself, as a whole, is not that good. Because there's a couple of things that I feel like they could have done, they could have improved on, and they just didn't. But I think the overall design aesthetic, the look, the character of it, I think it's pretty cool looking. And I do recommend it for that. So if you want a display piece that's something different for your Transformers Prime collection, I'd say go ahead and get it. It seems like in Transformers Robots in Disguise, you got a couple of characters that are kind of pirate themed. But not too much. Like Thermidor kind of has this, I guess, pirate theme, but he doesn't feel too piratey enough. This guy feels like a pirate, which I think is pretty cool. And I wish that Robots in Disguise would go closer to this, because this is pretty cool. But with that out of the way, that's pretty much it. I thank you guys for watching. Please like, comment, share, subscribe, and all those fun doodads, and I'll see you guys next time.